Okay, been out working, watching, dousing brush fires. It's getting real windy and leaves are blowing all over the place. Anyway, let's see something here. A white speck up there. First of all, let's finish the feathers. Now I glued a piece of dowel in here and then drilled a corresponding hole in the back of his head. So what I'm going to do now with a color that's called mudstone, this one right here, real nice gray. And here I was going to show you something here, just a second. That's a red-tailed hawk feather. See if I can find the other book up here somewhere. Okay, back here. Anyway, this is a red-tailed hawk feather. You're not supposed to pick these up because the Native Americans have the right to pick these up. White people don't. But it fell on my property and I use it as a reference, so I pick it up. Anyway, it's a pretty feather and it shows, you know, how the feathers are made. So I keep that one around. This is a wing, part of a wing of a barred owl, which I also found on my property. If you could feel this thing, compared to this one here, you wonder how owls are so silent when they fly, and believe me, you can't even hear them when they're flying through the trees and everything. This is just like velvet. I mean, it is just so soft, just so soft. So when they fly, they just don't make any noise at all. And here I have this book here, a good friend of mine gave me. It shows feathers, different kinds of feathers, what they look like, how they're used. I think, there we go. See there, there's that feather that I picked up. And here's some eagle feathers. Let's see if I can find it better. Nope, I think that's it right there. Anyway, like I was saying, black up on top and a lighter brown, brownish gray, grayish brown down on the bottom, which is what I like. And we sort of accomplished that. I don't want to spray brown down here. That just wouldn't look right. Let's see if I can find any other feathers here. Well, this is showing them how they paint them. Look at there. There's a feather. I love finding things like this because it sure helps you when you're working on something. Anyway, if you want to learn all about Indian feathers, Native American feathers, this is a great book to get a hold of, and I really appreciate my friend giving it to me. All right. Here's a picture of a barred owl. We have these all through the woods behind our cabin and listen to them all night long, hooting back and forth to each other. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay, we're going to paint this with mudstone. I'm going to use this to paint the lower part of the quill. Give me a brush here. Just paint it right out of the cap because I don't need too much paint. It's real thick. I'll put this on here. Where'd that other feather go? although I carve caricatures, half the fun of doing that is the research to make sure when I'm doing something like the decorations on the characters I do, it's correct. I don't want to, just slap some paint on a thing. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, so there, we got that done. Put that away. And then with a little bit of this parchment, I'm just going to start up here. I don't like that piece right there. Oh, that looks good. I like that. It's nice. Now with black, like I mentioned before, we'll just paint right out of the cap again. There you can see it looks almost black, but believe me, there's a difference in color. So we're going to paint this on, and we'll do it in such a way to go with the flow of the feather itself. And like I said, we'll put some spots on it. Not too many, you don't want to get carried away. Flip it over. Whoop! Look what I did. Look what I did. I might think about having to edit that out of there. Sounds like the mail person just drove up. Here I just went down and locked the gate. Oh, come on. Make sure we get the edges done. Here I grabbed that feather, and here I've got something right there to hold on to it. Wouldn't have been having the problem like that I got now. Well, looky there, happy mistake. See, that looks good. All right. Now you see this hole right here that is the dowel, where the dowel went through. So what we got to do now is hide it. So to do that, I use this acrylic modeling paste. The same paste that I use to make the veins on the feathers. pick up the feather the way I'm supposed to. Just get a bunch of that. If you look at Indian war bonnets and things, you'll see that there's fluff down at the base of the war bonnet. I like to put a lot on here. It not only hides the dowel that I put there, but creates a great little detail. And then with the toothpick, just take this toothpick. Just kind of stipple this whole area here. Don't have very much in here. Get some of that down here, fill in that area. Now when that dries, and it'll take a couple days for that to dry because I put it on there so thick, I'll come back and I'll paint that a different color. Probably red or something like that. Indians love the color of red. So I'm going to set this aside to dry, and once it's dried, like I said, I'm going to come back and paint that. And I'm also going to paint just an indication of the quill. So what we're looking at, here I got some paint on my feather. You're only going to see about that much of that quill, except for the very end of it here. You're not going to see this area down in here. So all you need is just a faint line to indicate that. And that's all, to me, that's all you need. You don't need a carved quill or anything like that, okay? So I'll set this aside to dry out of the way so I don't mess it up anymore. And Judy says she's tired holding this thing, so we'll take a short break. Okay, concerning fluff, here's the war bonnet, and here's fluff that I talk about. Native Americans, at least the Plains tribes, were just, the costumes they have and wore, the clothing that they wore, is just absolutely fabulous, unique, beautiful. It just, you really can't describe it, it just sort of takes your breath away. There's Chief Washakie. Just beautiful. There's Red Cloud. Just amazing. Usually around 32 feathers make up a war bonnet. And if you ever want to make your own, here's a book that a friend gave me, even autographed. And it explains all about the history of the war bonnet, and it shows you how to make one back here in the back. And I made a war bonnet years and years and years ago. And we worked for the Foreign Service over in Africa, and they had a costume party, Halloween party, and I wore my Indian outfit with my war bonnet, and it was a showstopper. Africans were just totally amazed at it. Anyway, getting back to this, what are we doing now? All right, let's take his head off here. Take this little doodad off here. Okay. Take that. I don't know if I showed you. I varnished or stained and varnished my base there, so it's ready to go. Set this aside. And what to do next here? Let's just get some colors out here. Let's go for a little bright green, not a real bright green. I think that'll work. That leaf color. We'll use the midnight blue, and we'll use the Moroccan red, I think. And maybe the antique gold. Shake that one up a bit. And find my little brush here. We're going to start, I think I'll use the red first here. We're just going to paint the tip of the triangle here. When you rinse your brush off, always make sure you wipe off this area down here, because when you're painting, if you don't, that water, little drop of water is going to run down there and hit that brush right where you're painting, and it's going to go just bleed all over the place. And blue. And we leave a space for the white. And we paint red. And kind of goofed right there. I need to come back and correct that. Got a little too close there. Yellow. Green. Blue. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to do this all the way around. That way Judy don't have to stand there and hold the camera. Okay? She forgot to say action. All right. So anyway, there, I got that done. That looks pretty good. Nothing fancy, but it's okay. And then this goes up here like that. It's going to hide most of it, but that's all right. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. We're not going to do this beading with this video. It's just going to take, I picked out the pattern, but I don't want to stretch this video out too long. It takes forever to process and upload. So while I've got this out, I'm going to use this parchment color. Paint this shell. Get it done. We're getting down there. I was just reading, I don't know if you've all watched that show, 1883, I think the name of it was. Anyway, in December, there's the next chapter, and I saw who's going to star in it. Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. Can you believe that? I'm not going to miss that one. And in November, you got the new Yellowstone series coming out. Things are looking good, huh? So then I'm going to use some of this yellow while I've got it out. I'll just put it around here. Clean my brush out. And then we're going to bleed it out into the white. Like that. See? Nice, huh? Then we're going to take some more of it. A little heavy there. Go the other direction. Like so. And I'm going to get some red. Like that. And we're going to set that aside to dry. And I think that's just about going to be it for this video. So, until we meet again, I'll talk to you later.